Join UF Hall of Famer and 14-year NFL vet Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
You're looking live at PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend. We got a short week coming up. First and foremost, I want to give my thoughts and prayers out to the Lawson Holland family. Lawson Holland was a coach under Coach Spurrier here at the University of Florida, passed away over the weekend. I think he was 70 years old. So,
wow,
good man, funny man, and hated to hear that. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Coach Holland. If you missed it last night, Duke wins over Clemson 28-7. Clemson, with their 56 4 and 5 stars, lost to the Duke Blue Devils, who have 2 5 stars. And they got a really good quarterback in Riley Leonard. Let's go to the Titan More Hotline, and we're joined by our good friend from the Buddy Martin Show and Gator Bait Media, the one and the only Buddy Martin.
Good morning, Shane. How about them Dukies, man? I know Coach Spurrier is really happy today. I think I don't remember.
He's there. He was there, by the way.
He was there. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it's I think they may have honored, if I remember correctly. I think the last time they beat Clemson in Duke, I could be wrong, was in '89, his last year. I know they won the ACC that year, so he's there. I think they had a reunion or something.
It was 1989 against number 7 Clemson. That's exactly right. And I knew he was going up there, but he told me he was going, but I didn't think he was going for this. This is great. It was very much the same, except they beat Clemson worse than he did. He's talked about that game a lot, and he did a lot in the book, Shane, about how things just started magically happening, people playing beyond their capabilities. And it was just, he said, I would not have been the coach at Florida. He wouldn't have been your coach, Shane, if he hadn't beat Clemson.
I know that for a fact. Andy asked on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, who do you think was the most legit after week 1, the Semis, Colorado, or Jalen Milroe? The Semis, it's not even close. Look, the Colorado story is great, but I don't want people to get hyped up, just like last year after the Gators beat Utah. Think about how people got so excited. I didn't realize this. I talked to my buddy who has a son that plays for TCU. He didn't think they were going to be very good. They only have 4 starters back from their national championship game. And, I mean, they gave up – I mean, both teams gave up over 500 yards of offense. So we'll see. It's great what Deion did. His son played well. Obviously, Travis Hunter. I did not see Jalen Milroe. I didn't see one play of his. But I thought Florida State – here's the thing that to me, I could be wrong about Florida State because they're a different team with Keon Coleman. Yeah. He is the difference maker in that team, the wide receiver from Michigan State. So, buddy, did you watch any of the Clemson game last night?
A little bit, but I want to get back to a very important point, Shane, if I may. Okay, we have a little bit different opinion about this, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. You did a fabulous job on the game this week. It was really good. You got a little pissed off, and that's good. And you said like it was. I'm going to say something about Coach Prime. All right, respect to him. I've never been a huge Deion fan. I've watched him kind of close. I have some great friends in Colorado who don't particularly like him. But what I saw, and I only saw part of the game, as a coach who had his team ready, he had turned over his complete roster, 50-some people. Not many people gave him a shot again. And by the way, say what you want to about 4 starters, but they were ranked 17th in the country. So it wasn't like they weren't a ranked team. And so not only did he do this, and his son played fantastic with that 500-yard game, but the way he conducted himself, Shane, after the game, I thought was world class. I really did thought it was world class. He'd think he'd be crowing and all that. I thought he did it, and he gave one of the best post-game talks to his team I have ever seen. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to do that. So we got to give credit where it's due here. I'm not saying he's going to win a national championship or even win the conference title. I just think he's surprised a lot of people. He's conducted himself with class, and he's done something. Even my friend, who's not a Deion fan, he said, "I never thought I'd see this day back at Colorado." He's been a Colorado fan for 35 years, and so he was not happy, but he gave him huge respect. So there's two different views, and this is the other thing. He put so much pressure on other coaches who seemed to not play well. You think people at Clemson aren't saying, "God, Dabo, look how terrible you are, and look what Deion Sanders did." Whether it's accurate or not, that's how fans think. So I just want to be on record saying that. All right.
No, I agree. But it's a game. It's a week by week deal. If Colorado goes out and gets beat by Nebraska, who hadn't won a game, or everybody's going to be.
Yeah, but Shane, it won't take away from what they did. They still
the hell it won't, buddy. It's a week to week deal.
But so this week was great. Okay, you're looking at the whole season. I'm looking at what was accomplished. I deal in moments as a sports writer. Moments. Okay, that's what I write about. And in this moment, you got to give it up for these. And whatever happens, I don't know. I don't know how many games he'll win. We'll see about that. But it's not about just how many games he'll win. It's about what he did in one game that other teams, including Clemson and Florida, could not do. That's all.
Daniel says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, he did crow, buddy. Watch it again. So Daniel's telling you to go to watch it again, buddy.
I've watched everything on it, Daniel, and I know what I saw. I don't need to watch it again. I'm a professional journalist. I do this for a living, and I know what I saw. Okay? So I don't need to be lectured about what I need to go watch.
All right. On the YouTube, a question brought to you by Quality Plumbing, residential and commercial plumbing services and emergency repairs since 1984. Our name says it all. Wicked Fresh says Clemson was ranked 9th and looked terrible. Preseason polls mean nothing. Yeah, I think the thing that surprised me the most about Clemson was they brought in Garrett Riley to try to spark their offense a little bit.
Sparked it all right, didn't he?
He didn't look very good. Cade Klubnik didn't play very well. They shot themselves in the foot as well. They had I think it was a 19-yard field goal the kid missed. They had a punt block. They fumbled on the Duke 1-yard line, a scoop, and they ran it back. So Clemson probably should have won the game. They're not very good this year after one game.
I don't know. Everybody picked them to win, so they're going to beat FSU to win the ACC.
Well, again, it's one game. They could get it turned around and beat them, but they did not look great. I will agree with that.
Okay. All right. And remember, they scored the fewest points against an unranked team ever in the history by Dabo Swinney. So let's count that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Facebook Live. Ted says, Shane and Buddy, do you think the lack of discipline on special teams will be fixed? I was on, where did it go? I was on the 8-win track for the Gators, and I think the FSU winning, we're looking at 6. Look, it's one game. Like I told you, people overreacted last year when we beat Utah.
Right.
The special teams really bothered me on air, if anybody here listened, because
I heard you.
As in game time, live game time action, as I'm calling the game, it's just my nature. As soon as we go to a special teams play, I count the players as I'm doing another job. That's not my job, but I do it automatically. I mentioned the one time we had 8 guys. I mentioned the one time we only had 10. Now, I couldn't see the 2 number 3s, but those things cannot happen. Those cannot happen at any level of football, in my opinion. There are multiple people sitting in the box. There are multiple people on the sidelines that need to take accountability and be responsible for that.
100%. 100%.
It is uncalled for. It is uncalled for.
Yeah.
Now, the false start penalties, that's going to happen. It happens all the time. Now, we had 5 of them. 4 were 3rd and 1s. 1 was a 4th and 1. Very crucial. Those can happen. Other than that, I mean, look.
Well, lack of converting third. What were they? 1 for 16 or something on third?
Yes. And a lot of that has to do with, as I said on your show last night.
Get behind the sticks,
right. After the second drive, I mentioned on the air that I didn't think we needed to call another run play the rest of the night.
I heard you say it.
And, when I was flying back yesterday, I read some stuff on Twitter. I stayed off of it. Florida needs to get back to running the football. No, they don't. This team can throw and catch, folks, and mix in the run, because what Utah did, and I'm sure other people are going to do it, and I would love it if I was a quarterback. They were putting an extra guy in the box because we have 2 really good running backs, and we had a decent running attack last year.
And they weren't checking it down. They weren't checking it. They run the ball to the teeth of the defense.
If you have more guys than you can block in the box, it's a simple game. If they got too many dudes for us to block, we got to throw it outside. If they spread it out and we got numbers in the box, we need to run the football. And I know people are on the offensive line. They didn't play great. But sometimes when you call a run play and they have a guy running free and you lose 2 yards, that's not because the line didn't do their job. They got more you can block. So that's what frustrated me. I think for this team to win games this year, it needs to throw the football first. You got wide receivers that can make plays. You got a quarterback that's extremely accurate and knows where to go with the football. He played really well, in my opinion. Some people disagree with me. I will be glad to explain to you how to play quarterback. I thought Graham Mertz was outstanding.
You call that shot, credit to you. And you said he's not going to be a game manager and he'll throw the football. And you were correct on that. You're absolutely right about it. But the frustrating thing is look, I don't want to dump on Billy. I want Billy to do well. I like Billy. I love to see Florida win. I hope he turns it around. But as I said in my column, it's like that big old ship in the Suez Canal that got stuck trying to turn around. This is not over yet, Shane, because what's coming around the corner after McNeese State is the Tennessee Vols, and maybe not a great football team, but based on what I saw against LSU and FSU, there's 2 losses to Florida right there. They will not be either one of those teams, Shane. They won't beat them. So I'm hopeful that I'm wrong. I'm looking like that 6-6 looks like it might be real, and this is not good. And given how coaches are turning programs around instantly, it does not look good for teams that do what Florida and Clemson did. So having said that, I'm not going to bash Billy, but you said you were so pissed off you left your stat sheets in the press box. You were.
Well, I always write down key moments of the game. I don't really keep stats. They give us stats, but we missed a chip shot field goal. We shank a punt. We have the 2 number 3s on the field.
Right.
The 8 men on the field. The 10 men on the field.
Sacks.
Obviously the crucial. I don't write down sacks. Sacks are part of the game. I write down stuff that you can control no matter who your opponent is. That's the crap that bothered me, and that's what caused us to lose the game. I don't care what the score was, what you thought. If you look at it, look, we lost the game because we did dumb stuff that you can't beat anyone with when you do that. I don't care what level of football you're playing with. We got
all right, Shane. Now, all right, just real quick, let me ask you a question. What do you say about the defensive mistakes getting beat on the play? On defensive coordinator Austin Armstrong's first game. What do you say about the fact that people say Billy needs to get an offensive coordinator? What do you say about the fact that maybe Billy's got too many? All the criticisms that are coming out. Just give me your. That's all I'm asking.
I don't believe in that because there are a ton of coaches around the country doing it all. I think we have to get the mentality that we have an accurate quarterback that knows where to throw the football. We got number 1, 3, and 4. That's Trey Wilson, Caleb Douglas, Ricky Pearsall. I would play those 3 receivers until they were tired. They had to come out of the game. Those dudes can get open and catch the football. In today's world, the clock makes – the game goes by so fast because of this stupid-ass rules that the NCAA implemented. The fastest way to score is through the air. I think we're good enough on offense with tons of playmakers to go fast and throw the football. That doesn't mean we're not going to turn around and hand it off to ETN and Montreal, but that's going to allow them to be able to play in space. We cannot be methodical, in my opinion, and that I think if we did that, it would give us a really good chance to win a bunch of games.
Right. Last one, Shane. Last one, if I may. I'm sorry for interrupting your show. It's yours, but you played quarterback a lot of years. And did you not have a quarterback coach, an offensive coordinator in the huddles with you on the sideline at times when you're coming on the field? Who'd you huddle up with? For what coaches? You had an offensive coordinator, or Coach Spurrier in this case, it was him, who was in your face and saying, we're going to do this, this, and this. Or later on, you had an offensive coordinator. Did you ever have an offensive line coach in there in the huddle with you? No, you didn't. And that's what I have a problem with. You call a guy an offensive coordinator. He talks to the quarterback, Shane. And then don't call him one if he's not, okay? That's fine. Billy's the offensive coordinator. Fine. That's the last thing I'm going to say about it. I'm all in. The big win, big over Nick State. Hope they win against my town, Tennessee. But it's just not starting off well, Shane. It's just not.
Yeah, on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Brandon says if AR had played like Mertz, you wouldn't be giving him the same. That's not true. The dude threw for over 300 yards and was over 70%.
333 yards, Shane.
70% and was getting clobbered. I mean, what game were you watching?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's not even. I mean, that's ridiculous. JB says, let's be accurate down the field, though. JB, we were fine throwing the ball down the field. You're not going to hit all the balls down the field. We had a miscommunication on one. Caleb Douglas ran a deep comeback and he threw a post. I'm just, look, the offense. Here's the only thing that I would suggest: we got to play fast and throw the ball more. And then when we get from about the 30-yard line going in, throw the ball in the end zone. That's the best place to score is outside the red zone. And Kenny says we have some very poor fans. The backbiting is old. Buddy knows he can't shut up about having an OC. That's a lie. I don't know what that means. The OC part is not I don't have a problem with that. I just think we got to be more aggressive. We got to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be clear, I'm not saying this. I'm saying what the fans are saying, the people I'm hearing from. I don't know. I know a very famous football coach that you know who brings that question up. So it's not just me.
Shelly says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Mertz did a great job and he will shine before the season is over. Nate needs an OC now. His play calling is too predictable. And Brandon says, so one touchdown is not good, Brandon. I'm not talking about the damn offense. I'm talking about how he performed under duress the entire night. This has nothing to do with AR. There's no comparison. He don't play for us anymore. Who cares? The quarterback played well enough for us to win. If you don't think that, you don't know football. The reason the Gators lost this game,
mental mistakes, beat themselves,
is because they did things that have nothing to do with the football game.
Yeah.
So anyway, I get upset about it because it has nothing to do.
Well, you're just going to have to get pissed off a little bit, Shane, and then settle in. It's a long season. And
I'm fine.
Coaches,
I want us to win as much as everybody else.
I know you do. But
for people to think that we're going to be a running football team, I think they're mistaken. For us to win games, we have got to throw it. We have really good wideouts, in my opinion, that can make plays in space. Get them the football.
Now, we haven't even seen Andy Jean, Nathan Mizell yet. What do we see those dudes?
Yeah. So this is a Facebook Live here. Brought to you by David, brought to you by Mellon. I watched the game with the former D1 lineman and coach. He pointed out multiple issues with 76, slid wrong way, wrong shoulder, wrong assignment. Besides
that Damian George?
I think it is. I'm not 100%.
He had a bad night.
Yeah.
We're coming over him.
Yeah. So anyway, let me get some of these texts, buddy. There's a million on here. I can't read them all.
Go.
But I'm gonna this is from a no-name guy, or it could be a woman, in the 912 area code. I don't know where that is. He says he or she says Mertz is the best QB we've had since Trask. For Buddy, how can I get one of them Gator bait shirts? Georgia Gator. This is in Georgia.
We get you one. We don't have these anymore. We just ordered a fresh batch, and Shane's going to help us a little bit. This one, Shane, I forget. I can't tell. Anyway, my man Shane is hooked up there, and we're working on merch right now. Brendan and Martin is, and we'll have those for you. And we're grateful because Shane, I hope Gator Bait, the name and the cheer, never goes away. And I'm hoping the new president will bring it back, Shane. It's ridiculous that they took it away from us.
I agree 100%. This is a text from Brett in Jacksonville. He says, I look at the positive. The defense allowed basically 17 points after the 70-yarder. Take that away. They had 95 yards passing. Defense played good. Says, Shane, I agree with you every day. Well, you don't have to agree with me. It's just my opinion. He says, Mertz throws a good ball with nice touch. Yeah, it's a shame on the first play of the game. RJ Moten just played it very poorly. Mm-hmm. I had people texting me blaming Jason Marshall Jr. for that. That he followed him right to where his help was
No,
when you have one high safety, you can never let the post route be completed. And RJ Moten took a bad angle on that play. All right, this is Chris from Mayaca. Looking forward to hearing your analysis of the game. I'm 100% on board with Billy, but what we saw on Thursday did seem like an unprepared team. Was that just inexperienced players, or was that on coaching? Seems like the offense takes forever to snap the ball. Some sort of shift on every play. Also seems like the defense line never gets set before the play. Just frustrating to watch.
Missing your center. I mean, let's give it that. So
my only gripe with Billy is that it took too long to abandon the run on Thursday. I agree with everything you said. I'm all about shifting and motions to a degree because it gives you a look, can confuse the defense, but it lets you know if it's man or zone, or you can flop your tight end to two tight ends and get leverage on a run play or something. But sometimes we just need to go fast.
Shane, for speaking of tight ends, how about Odom?
Yeah, Odom had a good
two nice catches. Yeah, he needs to get more balls.
This is Joseph says, QB, how do you not use timeout on 3rd and 1 inside their 20? Instead, get a freaking false start and go into half. Yeah, I that was critical. That we needed to call timeout there. I agree. Chris from Cottondale on the Titan our text line. Shane, I've thought the same thing you were saying for a while. We need to throw to set up the run like HBC used to do. Whoever's running our offense needs to have that mentality. It just needs to be. We just need to get aggressive. That's the mentality. You know, like I said, football is not hard. It's hard to coach. I mean, it's a tough profession. But when you really look at it, buddy, it's how many are in the box? How many guys do we have to block those guys in the box if we have a run play call? If there's too many, we have to throw it because we could block it perfect, but there's going to be a free runner to make the tackle. If they don't have enough in the box and they're spread out in a soft too high shell or what have you, they have 5 or 6 in the box, turn around and hand it off. It's all about.
And the running back's got to block the blitzer. You can't have that happen. You got to protect quarterback from that, the running back. So,
all right, Gator Josh on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, buddy, you do need to go watch. Prime called out all the media guys that said they wouldn't have a good team. Yes, you're a journalist, but doesn't mean you're perfect either. Prime is arrogant.
Okay, say what you want to. All right, call him what you want to call him, whatever you want to do. I didn't endorse any of that. I'm telling you, the man did a fantastic job. And the speech he gave in the locker room, if you haven't watched that, go watch it. It was tremendous, okay? I've seen 1,000 of those things. I know what they're about. I thought he connected with his players in a great way. You guys don't want to give him any credit. You just don't want to give him any credit. I'm a media guy. Naturally, I'm going to defend the media guys. But you got to stop just because you don't like Deion Sanders because he went to Florida State. Yeah, he can be criticized. Absolutely. What he did there was epic. And you got to start giving credit where it's. I don't know if he'll win another game all year. I don't care. What I saw, I know with my eyes. That's what I saw. What I heard, I'm sticking to it. Okay.
On YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Antonio says Mertz played good but not great. Missed a TD pass to Xanders where he predetermined to throw to Pearsall. And if he threw a great pass to Pearsall and double move a TD. That's 14 points. I know a lot of people ask me he should have thrown a touchdown on the out and up. I agree. Sometimes if you look at where the safety was playing, he kind of slowed him down, which is a good throw. He did miss Xanders down in the red zone when he threw an inside fade. Now, again, I don't know the play call. I don't know what the coverage was, what his reads are. That's one of those after the fact, you kind of see a guy running open after the ball's been thrown. I saw that up in the box as well.
Gosh, Shane, did you ever miss your open receiver? I guess you never did.
Never, buddy. I never missed one in my entire career.
Right.
I missed a ton. Chris says Prime.
You got a 300-pound guy in your face. You tend to do that, right?
Yeah. Chris says Prime is best friends with our very own Richard Fain. Yes, they played high school ball together for sure. Gabe asked ankle or knee. I'm not sure what that means. Did somebody get hurt? Did I miss it on that?
What's talking about?
All right, we got a couple more texts on the Titan More text line. Oh, by the way, we're gonna have Ahmad Black second portion.
Yeah, stay tuned for the good part.
Yeah. Okay, I already read this one. I think. Yeah, they're talking about plays take too long. This is Cam from North Carolina. Just sent me a text saying he was Cam. Didn't put any information in there or question.
Glad to know, Cam. Thanks for contributing to the show. That helps a lot. All right, so good. Yeah, look, you didn't say he held the ball too long, which a couple of times.
Kevin on YouTube, and I agree with this. Kevin on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, I don't know if an OC solves it. I think Billy's scheme is too slow and methodical. No hurry up offense. Yeah. So I was talking to.
Is that what you mean by playing fast, Shane? Is that what you mean by playing fast?
I mean everybody in America plays fast, and at least when you play fast, it allows you to keep the defense on its heels,
right?
And I just feel like we can throw and catch really well. That's why I was so high on this football team, buddy, coming out of watching them in practice, and my eyes did not lie to me. Now we had some other issues that I don't pay. All I care about is the QBs and the skill guys to throw to. I think we got good ones. And I don't know if Billy will want to be aggressive like that, but that's what I would do. I'm not saying to never run the ball again. I just think it will help Montrell and Etienne.
I give Utah a little credit, Shane.
Well, they're very
pretty decent. Yeah, they had some really good schemes, and the backup quarterback played great. So, I mean, yeah, I think I'll give them a little credit.
Zach says on YouTube, which is brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Shane, did you watch the balls? I did not see one snap. If we stop the run, I love our chances, especially in the swamp. Yeah, I think you got to force Joe Milton to throw it. They're a good football team, but they play fast, and so it allows them to be able to make plays in space. So
now Josh Heupel, he knows the pass game now. I got to give him a lot of credit. He knows the pass game, and they're going to be good at that.
JB says, did you see what Creed Whittemore did at Mississippi State in his debut?
No, I did not. What happened?
He caught a touchdown and he ran for a touchdown.
Oh, nice. Way to go, Creed.
He's like one of their fastest players. He's a very, very good football player.
Hey, he's also a Scott Brantley Trophy winner here for the Ocala Quarterback Club, too. So we're cheering for him here at the Quarterback Club. Who, by the way, tomorrow night, we have Ron Zook tomorrow night.
The Zooker.
Yep.
Hey, ask Zook if the Orlando Guardians offense gave him fits this year.
Well, he told you it did. It did. Yeah. Who's the coach there now, by the way, of the Guardians? Who's the OC there?
We can't say a whole lot.
That would be you.
Statistically, we're good, but we don't have many wins.
The ball.
From the 941, 70% passer wearing the orange and blue. Air it out. I agree 100%. Chris says teams tend to take the personality of the head coach, and Billy comes across a very conservative and methodical. I can see that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
They also want you to ask Zook to come be our special teams coach.
He was a good one, although he got fired in Green Bay for that job.
Yeah. All right. Buddy, I don't know if you saw this. I just got a text from someone here that sent this. The last 6 Gator head coaches when reaching 8 losses.
Yeah, I saw that.
27-8.
Read them all because it's pretty impressive. Read them all.
They left Zook off. I can't remember what his record was, but Spurrier 27-8, Meyer 31-8, Muschamp 18-8, McElwain 18-8, Mullen 29-8, Napier 6-8.
Yeah, not a good stat for Billy.
All right, this is Cam from North Carolina on the Titan MR text line.
Finally,
I believe Billy is going to make it happen. And yes, everyone is upset with the fact that we lost, but I think what we saw Thursday against a ranked opponent with or without their starter, we held them to a certain score. Can we do better? Yes. Is there room for improvement? Yes. The Gators took ownership of mistakes, and I'm certain it will be fixed. Needs to be fixed. Like I said, and I know this is coach speak, but it's very true. The things that cost us in this game are fixable. You know what I'm saying, buddy?
Oh, Shane, don't say that, please. Don't say that,
buddy.
I know.
Buddy,
but I've heard that 100 times over the years.
But let me ask you this. Buddy. Just let me talk. Do you don't think that we can fix not having 2 number 3s on the field? Do you think you can fix not catching punts inside the 7 or 10 yard line? Do you think you can fix not jumping off sides? I didn't say anything about talent, did I? Those are fixable, is my point. Those are.
You want my response to that?
Yeah.
You want me to my response?
Yeah.
Every coach say that, okay?
But it's true, buddy. It's no different. When you have bad English, when you have a sentence that has the wrong English in it,
yeah.
You can.
And by the way, typo. It's already a typo. You can't ever change that once it goes out.
But you can fix it.
But Shane, fans get tired of hearing that. They get tired of hearing it. Here, let me give you an example. Your car. All right, you get in your car and it chugs and stops. And you say, I got to get it down to the You take it down to the mechanic, opens up to it. You say, oh, yeah, you got a battery in there. Is it fixable? Yeah, fixable. Good. When you fix it up, I'll come back up in a couple hours. All right. You come back in a couple hours, fix it. He says, here's your key. You drive it off, put it down the road. It ain't running, and Shane. Oh, fixable again. Go take it back. I don't want to take it back. I want to take it back one time and get it fixed. That's the thing. Get it. I understand it's fixed. I realize I'll cut a little slack on that, but in the end, don't tell me it's fixable. That's exactly what Billy used. And good Fed runs up.
If we couldn't complete a pass and we couldn't tackle anybody,
I hear you.
Then it ain't fixable. But these are things that have nothing to do with playing football. They're procedural things before the ball is even snapped. That is fixable. Now, you still got to go out and execute and win games, but the things that killed this football team had nothing to do. They were penalties before the ball was snapped. So that's fixable.
Well, I'll say this and I'll shut up, okay? Because it's time for me to go. A friend of mine just here in North Carolina, who's a pretty astute guy, texted me, buddy, is this me or is this one of the worst coach football team I've ever seen? Okay.
I agree. I thought it was terrible.
And so it's fixable, but being bad in your first game is something you can't that easily.
But I think Billy, we're going to agree to disagree on this because the things that cost the Gators this football game, and maybe they still don't win the game if they don't make those, but they all happened before the damn ball was snapped. That's my point. Is that coaching? Yeah, we could call it coaching, but it is very fixable. That doesn't mean you're going to win games, but if you can eliminate pre-snap penalties, you can win games. All right, buddy, we got to get to Ahmad Black. Who you got on the show tonight?
Coach Spurrier. I'm going to try to get a hold of him. Maybe not, but I'm definitely going to have David Whitley and Lauren Meadows and Kyle Curtis talking about the Gators right on YouTube on the Buddy Martin Show.
All right, I was losing, buddy. I don't know if that's my internet or yours, but we appreciate your time. You can check Buddy Martin out on YouTube and Facebook Live every Monday through Friday. 9 p.m. Eastern time. We appreciate Buddy Martin. Have a good day, my man.
Shane. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we'll be joined by former Gator from the National Championship and a star on Swamp Kings, Ahmad Black. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning. We want to take this moment to thank our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law attorneys of the Florida Gators. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. QC Kinetics, live pain-free with QC Kinetics. Campus USA, put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. Dave & Buster's, eat, drink, play, watch. Our gridiron sponsors are Auto ER, UF Bookstores, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance, Radware, F45, Quality Plumbing. Our touchdown sponsors are Adams Ribs, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteak, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, Silver Q Billiards and Sports Bar, Cornerstone Financial Group. If you're interested in promoting your business on the show, call Freddie at 352-284-3733. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Attention all Gator fans, Meldon Law is giving away a chance to experience the Florida-Georgia game like never before. 2-night stay at the Hilton on the River, dinner at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, 2 premium tickets to the game, and a football signed by Coach Billy Napier, and much more. Go to the Meldon Law Facebook page and look for the VIP experience for 2. Good luck and go Gators!
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Radware is a family-owned business that prides itself in excellent customer service while providing quality and affordable promotional products and customized apparel. We're going to go to the Titan MR hotline, and we're joined by national champion, number 35, Ahmad Black. How you doing, my man?
Oh man, pretty good, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, for sure.
We're going to skip over the football game right now because I wanted to get you on to talk a little bit about the Swamp Kings. I'm probably the only person in America that doesn't have Netflix on mod, so I have not seen it. I've heard it. I want your thoughts. Is it better than you thought, or not as good as you thought it was going to be, or is it about kind of what I thought it was going to be?
This kind of exceeded expectations as far as like how they put it together. We kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into. The guys were reluctant at first to kind of even, agree on doing it. But a lot of people don't know that they already had bought the rights from the school to make it. So they're going to make it with us or without us. So we, collectively as a group, we were like, all right, no one's better to tell our story better than we could tell our story.
We got a couple of texts here on the Titan MR text line. This is Jimmy. He wants to know, Ahmad, can you tell us why Percy wasn't involved in the Swamp Kings?
Anybody who wasn't there, I'm tired of hearing about this, but nothing against them, because they didn't want to be. We can't make guys show up. So it wasn't because we didn't want certain guys in there. Literally everyone who everyone wants to see turned it down or didn't show up. There's nothing else to it.
I got you. So they basically had one place where all the former players came and y'all did your interviews there. So the filming company didn't come to y'all.
They came to us.
Literally. Oh, they did come. Okay.
Yes. So what they did was we came up with a list of people who we kind of was like, hey, these are the main guys that you need to focus on. Because beforehand, when we were saying that we weren't going to do it, they were talking to dudes that some of you guys might not even know of unless you're a real Gator. And even, no disrespect to a lot of people, but, even some people that were on there shouldn't have been on there. Let's just get that out of the way. But I respect everyone that put on the orange and blue. I respect that, all the Gators that, that's our family. But, we have guys that really made this thing go. We're supposed to be on there. They weren't. So I guess they had to fill in spots.
George from Nashville, Tennessee on the Titan MR text line wants to know, Ahmad, is there anything on the documentary that you wish they would have put on there that they didn't?
No. This isn't a bash session. And I think that's what everyone was looking for. It's for everyone.
I think you're right about that. I definitely think that's what people thought.
They wanted it, and you got to remember, this goes back to the first thing I originally said, is that UF bought the rights and gave them the rights to do that. There's no way they were going to let them bash us on Netflix. That doesn't even make a half a bit of sense. Do you think that the university is going to allow that? So that's how it went. I know some guys' concerns were how they did Hernandez and the Hernandez documentary, but also another thing that we have to understand is each movie or show that's on Netflix is produced by different people. Netflix is just a platform on which those shows are on. So you can't say, oh, y'all talk about, so-and-so bad on this one, so I'm not doing it. Well, there's two different production companies, not even the same people recording it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does. Natasha on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, says, I would love Ahmad to talk about what he is doing with mental health. I have loved reading about it.
Yeah, so right now I work in Lakeland Regional Health, community health coordinator. So basically what I do is just kind of inform people on their health and why it's important. I think mental health, above all, is the kind of the one that gets pushed under the rug because it's not sometimes visible, right? And we have so many other things going on that we cater to those things and sometimes forget about our own mental health. And that's most important. So it's good to, clear your mind and, get things off your chest if you have it, because I know some things bother some people and they wear it on their shoulders. But get someone that you can talk to, that you can trust, that ultimately can, you can let your feelings out and and they don't look at you, weird or anything like that. So I think mental health is super important.
No doubt about it. Andy on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, says, Ahmad, do you have any interest in coaching at the college level, possibly with the Gators? Let people know you're coaching with your high school, Lakeland, right now.
Yes.
But do you have any interest in the college ranks?
I've been freaking trying to beat the door in up there. So, hopefully, one day I get to that level. Hopefully it's with the orange and blue and not someone else. That would be tragic. But, everyone up there in the front, knows. I mean, they should know by now. I know the head guy knows. I want to be in the building, but I'm not gonna beg you to be in the building, if that makes sense.
Well, maybe we can get you to come up and count the special teams players when they're supposed to. How many? We need 11 out there. I don't know if you saw, we only had 8 and 10 on two different possessions. John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, I laugh when you, Ahmad, asked the people giving the interview to you if you could cuss or not. Did you say a few cuss words on this show?
Oh man, I said a few, maybe like 3, but still.
Yeah, I think I saw one had something to do with the Georgia Bulldogs, right?
Yeah, just doing, when you go on different platforms and whatnot and you speak, some platforms allow it, some don't. And, at that point in time, I didn't know clearly if I was allowed to or not. So I was just trying to make sure.
Yeah, that's funny. On the Titan MR text line from Marietta, Florida, Jimmy says, Ahmad, what was your favorite play that you had when you were with the Gators?
Favorite play?
Had to be an interception, right?
Probably my last play, man. The pick six at Penn State. Obviously, we know that national championship interception was worth way more. But I had an opportunity to play my last game in a stadium where I got drafted. Played with Urban for his last game. We were able to get the win. I got MVP with that, and it was a great night of fun for the Gators. I mean, it was a great team effort, and that's kind of, I think, what we're lacking now. Is we got the guys, we just gotta wrap our arms around each other.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Oklahoma National Championship game. Obviously, Major Wright's hit was unbelievable. But that's the game you made that crazy interception, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how the hell that happened. That was unbelievable.
Me either. I couldn't do it again if I
tried. Chris on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, says, Ahmad, what do you think about how Corey Raymond is handling the DB since he arrived?
He's a legend, man. I talked to Corey Raymond. I try to get with him, once or twice every 2 weeks, man, just to kind of keep in the loop. That's one of the guys that I would love to learn from. So that's why I'm kind of like trying to get in the building, to be able to learn and piggyback and sponge off of him would be amazing. I think he's a great coach. I think he, does what he can with what he's given. But, ultimately, he's one of the best in the business. So, we got a lot of young guys back there. I don't like saying that and making excuses for it, but the next man up mentality. So
Chris from Mayak on the Titan MR text line says, everybody likes to bash Urban Meyer. At the end of the day, he brought us 2 national championships. It didn't end well, but when it was good, it was really good. Ahmad, what is your relationship with Coach Urban Meyer?
I talk to Coach Meyer maybe 2-3 times a week, literally. People laugh, but on Fridays I call him maybe around 1:00 every Friday, and I call him and say, he already knows what I call him for, but I'm calling him to basically say, hey, what do I need to do tonight in my game? What should my mindset be? What do I tell my players? Right. And I just want to see it from his eyes. A lot of people don't understand the competitive nature that him and our team had. Like, this guy lost 2 games and, couldn't sleep at night, literally. You got to understand what he did in like maybe a 4-year span. He went 13-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think 13-1. Well, he went 13-1, and then we lost 4 games, 13-1, 13-1. We lost 7 games in like 4 years. think about the competitiveness in him, inside of him, to want to win. And I think we don't have that right now. Can we get it? Absolutely. I think we can absolutely get it. But I think right now, winning is not a dire need per se. Because if it was, you guys would play totally different. Like you gotta at all expense, you gotta do what you gotta do to be able to win the game.
Ruzoga State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. On the Titan MR hotline, we have Ahmad Black, tremendous safety, award number 35 for the Gators. This is a great question here, Ahmad. Facebook Live from Joseph.
All right.
Ahmad, do you think kids today could ever go through the kind of coaching Meyer and that staff believed in if some of it were still legal? Laugh out loud.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely
not. Even my toughest of guys are just, sometimes I'm like, why don't you just throw your stuff in there? Like my biggest thing is like, as a safety, when a guy used to run the ball and people are just, he's pulling a pile or he's, got someone tight, I'm going to just go clean them all up. They don't do that anymore. It's like they took the physicalness, the extra out of the football game. And now it's like dudes are scared to throw their stuff in there. You know what I mean? Do I get a targeting? Do I get kicked out of the game? And instead of making the game safer, I think it's kind of almost scaring the guys to make plays. If that makes any sense, especially in the NFL with the quarterback situation. It's awful. Yes. It makes you not even want to get a sack. Like, they think these 300-pound guys can freaking run full speed and stop on a dime without hitting someone. It's absurd. Or DB, for example. You said defenseless receiver. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to let him catch it and come down and ask if I can tackle him now? Or what are we supposed to do? So those are the things I think that they have to address, which they probably won't, because they're going in the verge of trying to make the game safer. But ultimately, I think it's killing the game just a tad bit. If you know what you're getting into with football, then this is football. Like, go play tennis, go play golf. There's plenty of other sports you can play. Like, we're not saying you have to play football. You can go play other things. But taking away some of the things like that is going to ruin the game, because now dudes are getting their ACLs torn because they don't want to freaking hit high and get a freaking, a fine.
Let's go to this Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. JB says, Ahmad, did Urban or anyone with UF shut down Netflix on the topic of the Aaron Hernandez cover-up story while he was at UF?
There was no cover-up story at UF. Like, what did he do at UF? Listen, this is not a shit show piece. We're not going to bash any of our players. So again, like, they made this Netflix documentary to show the good side of Florida. They're not. Aaron Hernandez has 2 documentaries on Netflix. If you want to learn about Aaron Hernandez stuff, go watch the documentary. Like, I don't know what else is. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? And then they're like, "Oh, y'all didn't tell us nothing we needed to know. Like, you didn't talk about X, Y, Z." Well, clearly you know about it, so why would we talk about it? Yeah. And also, they're not going to put, like, I think they didn't want to talk about something like Chris Leak, for example. I didn't think they want to talk about Chris Leak's story because they don't know it. They were from the UK, the producing company. Gotcha. So why talk about something they really don't know about? So when the guys decided not to get on the show, it's hard to tell their story when they're not here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Gene asked, Matt Drills, what are the pros and cons? Should current teams be doing them? I think everybody in America does them. It's just, look, I agree. The Matt Drills, the competitiveness, all that kind of stuff. Look, let's be honest here. Urban has some damn good football players that won a lot of games. It wasn't the Matt Drills that won the games.
Yeah. I mean, we do Matt Drills at Lakeland.
Yeah.
We did a similar style of what Urban did, but way less intense as far as win or loser, right? So we win or loser in our Matt drills. We did somewhat of the same drills, but it didn't get as intense as that. And I kind of made it fun too with the guys because it's competing, right? At the end of the day, it's competing. What those mat drills taught us is, can you outwork this guy in front of you? Yes or no? There's no gray area. Either she's pregnant or she's not. She's not maybe pregnant. There's no gray area. So I think what mat drills does is teach you discipline. What they didn't show is like how to be ready for when the next guy jumps down and get ready for the drill. The next guy has to be ready. About focusing and not wiping the sweat off your forehead. Just let it run down because we're focused on our task at hand. It was a lot of things that mat drills taught us that they didn't show, and they just showed that, and people were like, "Oh my god,"
Yeah, it's some tough stuff. There's no question. All right, last question for you, and we really do appreciate your time.
Yeah,
Let's
absolutely.
talk about the current Gator staff, Gator football team. Obviously, I was extremely disappointed in the way we lost that game. I try to tell people from my coaching hat on, a lot of the problems that we had were pre-snap. Two number threes, 8 guys out there. False start penalties. All that stuff can be corrected. You still got to win games, but just your thoughts moving forward. Can this Gator team get it corrected?
Yeah, so that's good what you said, Shane, about just that's how we lost 2 weeks ago at Lakeland. I mean, was the team good? Yes, but you got to get on the field on third down. Yeah, start there. You got to have a good third down percentage on offense and defense. I think we were abysmal on offense on third down. I don't think we were really that good on third down. But another thing too, Shane, you're a quarterback. If we have an inexperienced line, don't go to the line on 3rd and 1 and shift 3 times or whatever you do. Line up and try to get the first down. You can't go on hard count because they haven't been in those situations. So that's another thing that I'm like, all right, I don't know. The normal eye will see that, but right there, you go line up and try to get 1 yard. You don't have time to fiddle fart around and try to make them jump off sides when in reality you're going to be a one false starting or shifting and illegal shift or something to that nature, illegal procedure or something. You don't want to give those opportunities away. Another thing we have to work on is not getting punt returns inside the 10-yard line. That is a dead zone. Don't run back there to catch it. I know we had a freshman one time. You can't do that because now you're getting the ball at the freaking inside the 5 when you can get it at 20.
Yeah,
those 15 yards are vital. Everything is vital, right? So it's little things that they can correct. That obviously they have a great coaching staff, and I think they do well with the corrections and whatnot. So that's a good thing. We didn't have any minimal effort issues. I mean, guys are running to the football, guys are playing hard all the way to the last whistle. So I don't think talent or them hustling and whatnot was the issue. We just got to fix the little things.
Yep, no doubt about it. We appreciate you taking the time, Ahmad. Let everybody how they can follow you on Twitter.
Yeah, well, it's X now, actually.
Oh yeah, X.
So Ahmad Black 35, AHMAD BLACK 35, and then now that the Netflix came out and whatnot, I've been trying to make my Instagram go a little bit more. I've been putting a little bit more pictures on there, but I'm Ahmad Black on there as well. So if you guys want to just see cool little pictures and whatnot, I put up old pictures and sometimes pictures that of current events and whatnot. Twitter, I'm just always on there just talking sports, man. Just just another opportunity to engage.
Well, good stuff as always. We appreciate your time. Go coach those boys up in Lakeland, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you in Gainesville, my man.
All righty, man. You guys take care. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's the great Ahmad Black. Join us on the Titan Tomorrow hotline. Real quick before we get out of here, on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. Shane 1178 says, Shane, when you say you would have thrown it against Utah the whole game, it's crazy to me. You do know that Billy Napier will never win with his passing attack. Each time he's tried, he gets dominated. I'm saying we were behind 21-7 before we started throwing it consistently. We need to do that early. It gives you a chance. So we'll see. That's just my opinion, whether it's right or wrong. Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists that build commercial structures with unrivaled quality. Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. Really appreciate all the YouTubes, Facebooks, and Titan Tomorrow texts today. We love having your comments and questions. And I really want to thank Ahmad Black and Buddy Mark for joining the program. Have a great day, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.